All right. How is everyone doing? Hope everyone is well. As normal, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Tonight, we're going to be doing some live editing, um, live video editing. I should specify that. There's a difference. You got photo editing. There's a lot of aspects of editing, but tonight we're going to be doing some video editing. Um, if you guys have tuned in the past and you kind of know what to expect, content though is a little bit different tonight. We're going to be doing some model videography. It's from a shoot that I shot with a model named Tanasia. If you guys have tuned in to any of the streams in the past couple of weeks and you've seen her, so we had an opportunity to shoot last week before last week or the week before last, one of those, and we had a really dope shoot. And so that's what we're gonna be working on tonight. So yeah, man. So I'm not gonna waste too much time. I've been going through the footage. I'm really excited about it. It was really, hype about the shoot in general, just because of just how good it turned out. You know what I mean? It was one that I took a different approach to, slightly different from the way I tend to approach them or I have approached them in the past, I should say. So this time I was a little more thought out, as far as not so much in the location or anything like that. I put more thought into, the shots that I wanted to get, the movements. And another big thing that I did different with this one was I made sure to watch back the shots. Sometimes, I think I tend to get distracted in conversation. You know what I mean? You kind of get lost in, kind of the heat of the moment, when you're out filming, you're doing stuff, you get, I know for one, like when I'm talking to someone, I try to give my full attention. I always think it's awkward, when someone is talking to you and they're not really paying attention. So I'm not used to talking at people, you know what I mean, and still doing stuff in the background. So I tend to like look people in their eye and give them my full attention. But that at times can be a little distracting, when you're trying to work on something or you're thinking of a shot. So that was a big thing that I know I've been working on personally, is just communicating like, okay, these are my thoughts. This is what I'm thinking. This is the shots or the look that I want to get, or, I'm going to, go to achieve. And so that helped out tremendously, because I think it put, the model at ease. And it kind of put myself at ease as well. You know what I mean? Allowed me to really think through like, okay, I want to do this, or I want this to look like this. So, let's do this over. And I would show her, the shot and kind of walk her through, like, okay, what we needed to look like. So that was what was a little bit different on this go around. So, yeah, man. So like I said, without holding this up any longer, I'm gonna jump right into it, because like I said, I'm super excited about this edit. Trying to get my stream set up, trying to make sure everything is looking good here, all that good stuff. I don't know if we're live on everywhere that we need to be live on. Y'all tuning in, man. What's going down? What's going down? Let's see. There we go. Yeah, baby, we live. So I'll make this quick post on Facebook, then we're gonna jump right in. All right, so we got that. Boom. So we know we're good there. We're going to triple check one more thing here, and we're gonna just make sure. Yeah, I don't know why. For whatever reason, it does not want to send my streams to YouTube as I intend. It goes to my regular YouTube channel. It doesn't go to both the Spare Time as I intended to go to, but that's my apologies. All right, let's get things going now. All right, guys, sorry for that. So we're gonna jump right in. Actually, too, before we dive in, since I got this all set up, I want to show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys something. We're gonna kick everything off with this. So we'll take a look at this real quick, and Then we're gonna jump right into the edits. Actually, you know what? We're gonna jump into the edits. We'll show you that. We'll close out with that. You guys probably already are aware of what is going to be shown. We're going to be seeing that movie. Yeah, so I'm excited. All right, boom. So some of the pre-work I've done. Um, I've already proxied or made proxies of all of my footage. I've brought those proxies in, got them all ready to go. I've already downloaded the music and have the music that I want to use loaded in, or I have a few selections that I'm going to go through. So you guys will see that as normal. And that's really all that I've done. So it's pretty starting pretty much from scratch on this one. I have not yet decided how long I'm gonna make this edit. Um, if you guys don't know, here I'm gonna show you guys something. Yeah, I have some ideas on this edit because recently this happened. This is this is my first drone here. So you see that propeller, she's gone. These are how they normally are, how they're supposed to be. And you see that bad boy. I'm gonna come in a little closer there. You see she's non-existent. Propeller doesn't exist, and then that arm is just she looking janky, man. So I was working on a project down in Cincy and had a flyaway, unfortunately. So this drone is done. But I say that and bring that up to say, and I say that because I know I've talked in the past, and I think on one of my other streams, like about just what I choose to use and shoot when working and doing model videos and all of that kind of stuff. And I don't typically use drones outside of establishing shots and scene and things like that. So I picked up the Mavic. I'm sorry, not the Mavic. I picked up the Air 2S. So it's the newest drone from DJI. And God, it's a gorgeous drone, man. So I think I'm contemplating using some of that footage. So I think actually what I'm gonna do, because that footage is not proxied if I do decide to bring that in, which I think I am going to bring just to establish this area. Because I went back to where we filmed just to be able to possibly do this here. I wanted to be able to have some footage just in case I decided to use it to kind of establish this location. And I think I am going to use it. And I'm going to show you guys what we're going to use. I'm not going to use too much drone footage, but just enough, you know what I mean? Just enough. Here, you know what I mean? Since you guys are on the stream, I'm gonna show you guys the crash. Y'all gonna get to see the crash of my old baby, man. All right. So another thing I've been doing, one of these days I'll talk about how anal I get with my file structuring and naming everything. So I have everything named now. I'm just gonna bring that whole folder in. So like all of my drone footage, I know exactly where it is. And so I'm gonna save everything by name, date, and location of where I've captured said footage. So it's gonna make my life that much easier, you know? So real quick, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna make proxies of this because the new Mavic, or excuse me, I keep calling it the Mavic, it's not the Mavic, but the new Air 2S, it films in 10-bit color and 5.4K. So it's really high resolution. So I'm gonna go ahead and make proxies just to make sure that I don't have any headaches trying to edit through this. You know, even though I'm just gonna kind of use it to establish. I think I'm gonna, because that's another thing that I really have in mind that I want to do with this edit, which is why I haven't yet decided how long this one's gonna be, is because I want to incorporate a lot more B-roll, and so you guys are gonna get a feel for this one tonight. Just the direction that it's gonna go with. I want it almost kind of story like, you know what I mean, where each scene, even though she's, you know, doing something simple, you know, just kind of doing different poses. I want to establish where we're going. And so that was another thing that I was really cognizant of, and I could have done better. But I still made it a point, which is a big, it's a step, but I made it a point to get B-roll footage at every, all the locations that we went to. Um, and so I believe that it helped, like a lot. So now I keep rambling. While that's making proxies of our drone footage, it shouldn't take too long. It's not too many clips that I'm bringing in. What we're gonna do is go ahead and decide which song choice we're gonna go with this evening for this particular edit. So I would say I'm looking for something. I want something upbeat. I want something with a lot of energy. I want something that's gonna grab your attention, like right away. And also, I love cutting to the beat. I'm going to use some of that to my advantage in this again, but I want it to be. It's got to make sense. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I'm looking for something that's going to offer a lot of energy. A lot of solid points that I know I could cut to, as far as in the soundtrack. So that's what I'm listening for. Okay, I like that. And all of these are songs by musicians on Artlist. So that's where what we use a lot of times for all of our music and not sounds, but soundtracks and things like that for some of the videos that we, produce and score. Comes from Artlist. I like that, but I think it's a little too mellow. I think it's way more mellow than what I'm looking for this edit. So I think we're gonna stray away from that a little bit. So let's see what else we got. See what this one's talking about. This the last one. I think we're gonna go with the Ignite, the first track we played though. Okay, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with this one, just because I think this really kind of matches the vibe of her outfit that she has on. I think it kind of really matches her look and her energy. So I think we're gonna roll with that. And these proxies are taking a lot longer than I anticipated. So it's all good though. So now I want to think about how we want to bring this in. So I think we're definitely going to want to use the drone footage of that. So let's see if it'll let me do this while it's still making these proxies. We can at least play through it. So first things first, I'm going to show you guys the crash. that resulted in my favorite drone, man. My drone, baby, man. My drone of 3 years. And this is tell you too. I'm gonna play this for you real quick. While this is playing and talk to you guys. This is what's so crazy about this. Like I said, I've had this drone for 3 years. I crashed it. Basically, it was like the 30th or something like that. Or anyways, it was like right at the end of the month. It was almost 3 years ago to the date that I crashed this drone. And this was right here. This is when it just like it was not responding. That bad boy was done. It was flying straight towards the river there. And so I thought she was done for. You see, it's kind of like it's just on full tilt. It looked, from my perspective, where I was, it looked like it went straight to the river, but it actually did this weird U, like kind of looped around and came back. Thankfully, because it allowed me to recover the SD card. And so yeah, and you just got like 5 minutes of just staring straight up in the air. Yeah, so that's what happened. So anyways, like I was saying, so we were like, I took off from I was like right in this area here, like back here. And so literally all I did, I took it up about like 8 feet, and I got like a weird error. And before I could do anything to correct it, it just kind of went and did its own thing. Like I was trying to bring it back as I was getting the error, and the controllers just stopped responding, and the drone was just like it was done for. But yeah, so it's like I had this drone for 3 years, never had any major crash or anything like that. And yeah, it was the first time, so it kind of sucked. You know what I mean? But like I knew it was time, man. I was ready for an upgrade. But say all that to say, now these are some shots from the new baby. And this is actually still unproxied footage. So this is, you guys are seeing it, the regular. It's probably going to stutter through this. Oh, maybe not. So what I'm thinking we're going to use this shot here. Well, I want to think. So as I was playing through, I think what I'm going to use, I'm going to use a shot of the city. It's not these here. All right, some really dope shots of the city. So I think what I'm going to do is just kind of establish it like that. Right, you can use a simple landing shot. Yeah, I don't think so. I think this is the one we're going to use right here. So there's a lot of good shots in this. So kind of went closer. I'll tell you, man, that drone, oh my God, man. I think maybe my next live stream, I might do something where it's just like, I'm do some fancy drone edits. Because man, some of the footage that I've been able to get off of this thing is it's unreal, man. Like, look at this. This is crazy. So the big reason that I decided to go ahead and upgrade to this one in particular, is because of the sensor size. So, when you're working with cameras and you're doing any kind of videography, photography, things of that nature, any video work, your camera has a sensor, you know what I mean? So the larger the sensor, the more light it's going to let in, the better resolution or the higher resolution that you're going to be able to get, better color accuracy, and just a lot of things pertaining to the detail and getting a sharper, cleaner, crisper image. So this is, it's a much, 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 much larger sensor from the Mavic Air that I came from, which just allows for just really like mind-blowingly stunning like images. So that was huge, you know what I mean, as far as just like, professional capability, because now it also has 10-bit color versus 8-bit color. And so this is actually, for me, my first time, opportunity even working with 10-bit color. I shoot all Sony, older Sony, what? A64 and A6500. I've said that a lot, and you guys should know that by now. But those are the cameras that I shoot with. They are both in 8-bit color profile, or however you want to say that. But so they're not going to offer as much depth in colors, if that makes sense. So I seen this chart. I don't know if this is accurate or super accurate or not, but I'm going to tell you guys anyways. Look it up yourself. But 8-bit color, I think they say is like around like over 1 million colors, whereas 10-bit color is around it's over 1 billion colors. You know what I mean? That the camera is able to process. So that is the biggest difference between 8-bit and 10-bit. So you're getting way more color information. So you're getting, it's just a better, overall experience. So the second thing is OcuSync. So it's a new way that the drone flies. So again, with the Mavic Air that I had, it used Wi-Fi, a combination of Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. And any time I would fly in a city or in a residential area, or even near any kind of like cell phone tower, like out in a rural area or anything like that, I would get crazy interference the further out I would go. Sometimes I didn't, I could be, a couple 100 feet away from me, and I would get interference, and I would just not be able to see what's going on the screen. And you start panicking, you're thinking about to lose, your very expensive drone. And so my favorite thing so far is the transmission, the signal. You're getting crisp, clean signal all the way through, however far out you're flying. And it's rated to go up to 7.5 miles. I will never take that bad boy out that far. I have no need. But you can fly it out and don't have to worry about not being able to get a good signal and trying to find a spot on the ground. And like, okay, if I want to fly and capture this building, I have to go and be like right at the base of the building. I can be clear, up the block, and I can go fly and get that footage with this new drone, which is extremely dope, which is why I was able to get some really dope shots here. So I think we're gonna open up like this. We're gonna open up with the city, and then we're gonna cut to where we want to go. But yeah, man. So if you can't tell, I really love this drone a lot. I come over here fanboying over it and all that good stuff. But it's just an incredible drone, man. So all right, so I don't want to give you too much of my sauce here on this first one, as far as this drone clips, especially if I'm gonna do a drone video on my next live edit, then I gotta hold back some of this, man. But we're just gonna use this one clip here, and I'll do some stuff with this. I'll do that. I give y'all that, man. All right, so all we're doing here, we're not doing anything crazy. We're just gonna cut to the beat, and then want to move in. I'm still, honestly, I'm kind of biding my time. I'm waiting for this to finish proxying, so you guys can't see it, but it's on this last clip to proxy. Since it's got about 3 minutes left, so we're gonna keep. And so again, the reason that we're making proxies of this footage, I have all of the footage of our model Tanasia. All that footage has been already proxied, so it's going to be easier to work with as far as from my computer. This footage here is fresh out of the camera. It's extremely high resolution. It's the highest resolution footage that my computer's had to work with. And I mean, it's handling it fine. I just know that as I get into this edit and I start to, make a lot of cuts and start to get into some of the masking and things like that I'm going to be working on, it is not going to handle this well. So I'm trying to get this. I want to get it, get all this proxy. We'll attach those proxies, and then we can kind of work freely at that point. So I'm just gonna find just different points within this one flight here that we're gonna cut to, and I'm just kind of trying to mix it up just a little bit, and we're gonna kind of just use this as our intro to this edit here. Nothing too crazy. It's mad simple. So I know I have raved and I talk about this drone like so much, but just another thing, man, it's like how incredibly stable this thing flies is unreal. Like man, I'm so excited about this drone. I haven't been this happy about flying, and really I think since I first got my Mavic Air. So I'm real happy about this bad boy. So let's see how long this intro goes before the beat drops. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and put a marker here. And so we're gonna mark our cuts, or where we're gonna make our cuts down here, because we're gonna make a cut. We're gonna add some sort of variation. I think this is where we're gonna actually bring in our model to Nasia. We're gonna have to actually start showing her, and I think I have an idea of what I'm gonna use as far as the clip goes. So we're just gonna match. I was gonna match those beats like boom. And so I'm pretty sure this is stock, but on your keyboard, your quick commands, I think it's pretty much set. So if you just hit M on your keyboard, wherever you want to place your marker, it should just, automatically place it there for you. So that should be pretty straightforward. And excuse me, I'm gonna bring the camera down so I'm looking. You guys are, as I'm getting into this, you guys are losing my face, some of my face. So fix that. All right. So boom. All right, look at that. Our proxies are done. Sweet. So what we can do now is click here. We're going to come back over to proxies, and now we have the option to attach the proxies. It's going to ask where we're going to attach. And I don't know why. Normally we'll go through and do these all together, but it's making me do each individually. Anyways, we got them proxy. So now we're good to go. So now we can click over here and we can actually toggle the proxies, and ooh, them bad boy. It looks terrible. So we can toggle back and forth between these proxies, and we can see what we're working with there. All right, so now we got that proxy. Next order of business. Before I forget, actually, I'm gonna take the proxy off real quick just so you guys can see this. And what we're gonna do, we have an input LUT that we're gonna apply to this, and this is just going to bring this footage out of what is called log format. And then we can make our color corrections from there. And lastly, I'll apply a grade. So, boom. And just like that. So that's with the LUT applied. That's without. With, without. So we're going to keep that there. And next thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and just pull up our scopes, because we're going to adjust everything on this clip. And we're going to paste the attributes, copy the attributes here from here, this clip, paste them here and here. And then we're going to move on throughout the rest of this edit. So already looks really, really good, man. But what we're going to do is, let's see. I'm going to adjust my contrast just a smidge. So now we're going to, our blacks are already, they're already really low. So we're going to leave the blacks where they are. We're not going to make any adjustments there. We're going to lift the white some. And you see it kind of just made the image just a little bit brighter overall. We'll manipulate these shadows just a little bit. And bring back the highlight some. All right, and so now we're back to about how the day looked that day when I was out flying. It's kind of a gray day, and which is why I kind of went back and forth about even using this footage, just because I was like, man, I want a nicer day. But I am going to go ahead and use a little bit of it, just because it just looks so good, man. And this is another thing too that I've noticed, and something, I'll point out to you guys just to be mindful of, like, look, when I don't even know if I want to throw this out there, but I would just be mindful when editing using or color correcting or color grading using your proxied footage and looking at your scopes, because watch when I change the proxies, when I toggle between my proxies and out of the proxies, watch my image here. This is the raw image. There's no proxies applied. Now I would actually, looking at those proxies, I would lift my black some, but looking at my regular image, I would probably leave that, because that's about where you would want them. You want them to just be touching, but not quite touching this line. So I guess in a sense, what we can do, this is another thing too. This is 10-bit color, not 8-bit color. But so that was 0. So there. So we'll do that there. Not gonna make any additional adjustments on that. So, man, that proxy footage looks rough, man. But yeah, so we're gonna leave a proxy, so just we can play through it and see how it looks. All right, so now I think we're gonna go ahead and jump back into some of the B-roll that I got. All right, hold on. So I gotta make a couple adjustments here. Just give me a few. So I've noticed that Premiere does this whenever I'm running like screen record and things like that. I think the GPU gets bogged or something of that nature, just because what happens is my footage will go black, and so I have to switch the rendering, and that's just under project settings, general, and the render. We're gonna go to Mercury Playback Engine software only, and boom, there's our footage again. Incredibly annoying, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And personally, I noticed that it's just, you know, it's a little slower with the software rendering versus the GPU rendering, because I have a really fast GPU when it's functioning as everything should. But OBS is a lot, man. You know, so running these live streams is a lot of tax. But anyways, this is some of the B-roll footage that I got of just a car sitting out there. So I think what we're gonna use some shots like this. Because this is where the scene transpires next. So bring that, and so let's see. But yeah, I just wanted to, you know, I wanted to make sure I captured, you know, tried to capture the essence of everything, you know, fully. Oh, excuse me. I wanted to make sure I made the most of also, you know, the locations that we shot at as well. And you know, I was like, man, it would be dope to get some really dope B-roll footage of this, you know, car that she shot a lot of the first scene, and so I pulled up and hopped out. And here we are. And man, shout out again. I know I talk about this a lot as well, but those Polar Pro Peter McKinnon lens filters, crazy. So you guys should get the gist of it now. It's like every time that beat hits, I want something to be switching. You know, something else going on within the edit. Nothing crazy, but you know. Mm. You know, and then every now and then you get your shadows in the shot. You know, what can you say? What can you say? Like, I really like this shot like a lot, man. I think it's such a fire shot, so we gotta incorporate that. All right, all right. I just do the same shot again. Yeah, it looks like it. And again, really. Hmm. So we gotta make this one fire because this is the clip that precedes where we're gonna start to incorporate her. So we gotta make sure this is a fire shot. And I know I got a fire shot in here. All right, so trying to find a clip with Buddy wasn't in it, man. I was trying hard to keep him out of my shot when I was doing this. Know that, sometimes I can get pretty good luck in removing them in post. I didn't want to deal with all that, man. I try to fix it in pre if at all possible. So let's see how this even looks. We gotta get the right point. We gotta add the movement. We can't have a stale shot. So it's gotta be moving a little bit. So now let's see. Yeah, so take it from the top real quick. Hmm. So what's going through my mind now is I'm trying to decide if these clips match the visuals that I want to incorporate and start to bring in with her, and if this makes sense. So that's why I'm getting quiet and kind of looking angrily at my screen. So what I did, I just reversed this clip just to see if I mixed it up. And like I said, man, I say this all the time, guys. Don't be afraid to try new stuff. And what if we even did this? We switched these clips around, Like, what is this? What happens? Oopsies. If we do that. That actually feels better. There's still some stuff. I don't like to waste too much time. It's like if your model's the subject, we're at 20 seconds in on this edit and we have not seen her. And that's because the artist made the song, for the entire song to be heard. So they're not thinking about, say like the first minute, which is cool. But I don't know. We may still run it like this. We'll see. Yep, we're gonna roll with it. I kind of like how it's feeling now. I think the movements are matching. It's not too jarring and off-putting like I was concerned about. So we're gonna cook now, man. And do 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 do. I think this is how I wanted to bring her in. And so obviously this is way longer than this here. So what we're gonna do is see if we can time the jump cuts to match adequately. So boom. And here, before we get too deep in the woods, I have not color corrected any of these. So I like to do this kind of as I go, just so I don't get lost in the weeds and things, as I'm too far into the edit. Yeah, so I should probably leave those blacks where they are. They look actually really true. Let's see if I bring these whites can come down some though. So we'll bring the whites down some. I'm gonna bring these shadows back a little bit. Like, man, this is gonna be a crazy looking image. I can tell you right now, this baby looks nuts. This is proxy too. Just the detail, man. That's what I'm looking at. It's just mind boggling. All right, so nothing crazy there. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna right click on this segment here. I'm going to find copy, and I'm gonna come right over to this clip here, which is the next one, and we're just gonna paste those attributes. And then we're gonna make any adjustments that we deem necessary from there. Like, I feel the shadows are a little bit much on this one, so I'm gonna lift the shadows some. Oh my gosh, that looks good. Mm, mm, mm. So let's see. This we gotta be really careful not to come too far and crush these blacks, man. We got some beautiful blacks showing in here, getting some nice, crazy good dynamic range. I'm trying to think of the profile that I shot this in. I know I didn't shoot in log. So this blacks can come down. Okay, so before we start making a bunch of jump cuts, we definitely want to go ahead and adjust this whole clip because we know we're going to be using pieces throughout this entire clip here. So we need to make sure that we get it where we want it before we start to, do any of that, because we're going to have to do a bunch of copying and pasting and fixing and all that crap. I don't want to do that. So fix it now, and then we can chop it down. All right, great, Scott. This is a good image, man. Looks great. Switch back to proxies. And you can see this is a wee bit darker too, man, when you switch to proxies. So just gotta be mindful of that. Just watch yourself. Watch yourself. All right, so what we're gonna do is, let's see. So we gotta bring this in right. So I think I want this first one to kind of get right when she's walking. And we have to make big cuts so we get to where we want it to go. So I'm trying to make sure I catch her left foot in focus and at a point too, so it doesn't look like she's like hopping on one leg. That look a little crazy. And so ideally, by the time we get to this point here, it's gonna be an entirely different clip. We're gonna have her at the car. So let's see how this looks. And I don't like this at all. Nope. I don't like it one bit. So this needs to be, it's too much of the same. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna jump to a different point in our edit, and we're gonna show her walking somewhere else. And we're gonna get another clip with some movement. That's a fire shot, because we can't have anything just looking all monotonous, man. Even if the energy is not there, it's the editor's responsibility to make it be there. You know, you got to create it. You got to find some sort of way to create it in the edit. So it's a big hat to wear. My computer over here yelling at me. It's more like, look, man, you trying to stream, you trying to edit, you trying to record at the same time, man. You can't pick one of these things and just do it. You got to just run me ragged like this, man. So you can see this is the software here now. It's because it's trying to render through the software versus the GPU. Watch, and I already know what's gonna happen. Kind of general. Let's switch back to GPU. Not that. So I would have to. What's gonna have to happen? We're gonna have to save this. We're gonna have to exit out, and we'll have to come back in. Yeah, if it keeps getting frozen, we're gonna have to exit out and reopen Adobe. And I think we're just gonna go ahead and do that because I don't want to keep dealing with this. As I get in here, I'm just gonna get frustrated. And that's what we're not going to do this evening. We're going to have a great time, right? Yeah. I need a little cheers button, like, yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close this out real quick, and then we're going to open this bad boy right back up, and we're going to continue with our edit. So, I don't know. This is some weird issue, with Adobe. I don't know if it's with Adobe or if it's a CPU. I don't know. I don't like it, but it is what it is. We're doing that. I guess what we can do is fix that up. I fill the screen. All right, so Premiere's waiting on me to decide which file I'm going to open. So now we should be coming back in business here in just a few. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. All right, so now we're back in action, baby. So now let's see where we're at. Yep, now we're back like normal, like nothing ever happened. It's weird. So just keeping it real, we have about another hour left in this stream. It's probably going to do this another 2 to 3 times, maybe not. Let's hope. Let's hope. That's all we can do is pray. All right, so now there's a clip that I'm looking for. So we went, I think this is one location. This is at a familiar, this is over in this pretty well-known art spot here in Columbus. So we were at that location. As far as a home spot, we had the car. Then there was like 3 other spots within this little area that we shot at. And then we went over to some train tracks, and there was another little area that we kind of closed out at. So we kind of made, and this is all within 5-10 minutes of this first area, which is dope. This is what I love about that area. But it also sucks. It's one of the only ones that I've come across that offers this much. That's why you got to get out there and hunt, man. You got to find them spots. You got to find spots to shoot. Yep, I think we're going to try to catch a little bit of this. There we go. A little sidestep. Sidestep action, you know what I mean? Sorry, my movements aren't really that steady. My arm is like pulsating right now, which is weird. So let's see. Did we continue in that same clip? Nope. Well, I don't know if we got any more. That's where we're gonna go next. That's where we end. We did get some kind of walking clips of her here. I don't know if this really. Nope. I think I had her do this a couple times too. Yeah, we're gonna do it. Yeah, boo. Yeah, that's the one right here. And it was a challenging shot to get because there's this platform at the end of this train bridge here. It's like a wood platform. And so I didn't have a spotter. So I was just kind of like, kind of watch and feel back, which I normally do. But man, I almost bust my ass. And actually, you know what? We're not going to use that. We're going to, because of the way this beginning sounds, I think. Hmm. Now we're just gonna play around with some stuff, man. I don't know which direction I want to go or how I want to go and do this next one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find something and work to work. I know one thing though. I do know one thing though. We're gonna flip that clip. All right. Now we cooking. So now save much and save often. And shout out to whoever sponsored this Cabernet or this red. It's put me in great spirits tonight, I must say. Dum, dum, dum. Gotta keep the list from getting crusty, man. I'm not a talker. If anyone, those of you that know me, know that I don't talk much. And so when I do talk, let's get all dry and chat, man. Hey, I don't like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna start to dramatize this. All right, so oops. What we have yet to do, we've not corrected our cheat coded our clips here. So they're all just standard. And I recommend, if you can, do this much and do it often. And just try to track and keep a track of what clips you've adjusted and which ones you still need to do. So what you don't want is to do, as I often do, get to the end of your edit and you like, man, these colors look off. And you realize like, dang, I didn't correct this. I didn't correct that. I didn't correct that. I didn't correct this. So yeah, just keep a track. So now all we're doing is just, like I said, we're just kind of like, you guys know, man, my process. This is just a very solid base layer. We're going to continue to use our scopes to adjust all of these clips here and get them where they need to be. And I'm going to not forget to Disable the proxies when doing this to make sure it's not looking crazy. But all we're doing is just adjusting using these scopes that's right here that we're looking at there. And we're just making the adjustments that we need. You know what I mean? You don't want any of your image, or as much as your image, you don't want as possible. You want to keep it in between these lines, between 100 and 0. If you go below 0, you're going to crush your blacks. You go above 100, you're going to overblow your whites. And it's going to look crazy. It's going to look terrible. Terrible. So we have a pretty balanced image. And this is the thing. You'll learn, you'll see this as you do this, you know, and you just get a little more practice with it. Sometimes, you know, it can touch a little bit because there's certain things you just can't control. Like she's wearing a black shirt. Like there's a lot of shadows there. But it doesn't look all nasty and yucky and mucky. You can tell the difference when it's blown or crushed. You know, it just looks terrible. I've done this and I've shown you guys that a lot. I'm not going to show that again. But maybe not, at least not with this clip, just because it's about where I want it. And I want to keep it there. Like the range, man, that we're getting on this is honestly, it's unreal. This is really, it looks really good. Like the definition that we're able to see is kind of slightly, you know, blurred out back there because the depth of field that we're shooting in, and just really like how she stands out, her color tones, you know, all that good stuff. And then we're still looking at all the blacks here. Like we're not losing those, you know what I mean? You can see a difference between the black that she's wearing here, the dark and her shadows on her jacket there, the shadows on her face, versus still some of these dark shadows in here and the gray, dark gray in the building and even the power lines. So this is a really good image. And this just comes for, you know, having it well exposed. So, all right. So one thing to seeing just ever so slightly some movement. When I do videos like this or model videography videos, I want it as smooth as it can possibly be. At least certain clips, you know, obviously I might add some movement or whatever in there, but certain stuff, man, like I don't want any movement. I want it just, you know, I wanted what I wanted. And for like this clip, it was just a little bit of wobbling that I didn't like. So we fixed that. We'll fix that with the warp stabilizer that we just added. If you noticed, excuse me. And so all the warp stabilizer is, it stabilizes your image in post, you know, or it's the in post is, you know, post stabilization. So kind of like this. So we'll keep on keeping on. Another dope thing too about working with this particular model, and she's really creative, man. She said she made like all this herself. I don't know about the tennis shoes. Like I don't know if she painted those, but she said the jeans, she applied all that stuff on and made it and put the whole outfit together herself, which is pretty dope. It just makes it, you know, a lot easier because I can make people look good on camera, but I can't put no outfit together, man. I can't. That's not my bag, man. It's not my thing. You know, that's the thing that I've learned. You know, everyone is gonna have their strength and their weakness, and I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. Everything I wear is gonna color coordinate. I'm gonna match, and you don't always gotta match. Apparently, I don't know. So that's why y'all don't see me on the front of the camera often, because I'm always on the back side of the camera, because I can make y'all look good. See, the thing is, if I gave y'all the camera, y'all can't make me look good. So I'm gonna stick to my strength and let y'all do what y'all do. So we need to speed this up because I don't like the pace that we're at right now. So now that we actually brought her in, we need to get things going in the edit. And so now we're gonna do that with the combination of quick cuts, quick, really precise cuts of where we want to go, and then we're gonna also mix in and start to give some combination of adding some masking, some After Effects, and just transitions and things like that. And I really, really, really toyed with just doing my base layer before my stream tonight and just bringing you guys on the kind of back end of it. I really, really toyed with this, idea, and I decided against it kind of last minute just because I didn't know. When I get to working on it and I have like ideas in mind, and my ideas go, go, go. And I just know that if I had started this edit, like I'm going to finish this edit tonight, 9 times out of 10. I'm going to have an edit, a rough sketch, something. I want to finish something with this tonight, though. And so I just know how I get. And I felt like I probably would have been really close to having this just done. And I wouldn't have had anything else to really kind of work with on the stream tonight. So that is why I did not kind of do more of the front end stuff or kind of the ground layer work, before time or ahead of time. So now, actually, we're going to play with the framing on this. Actually, let's see, can I do this? So I just found there's some new features and stuff that I just found out about. So ooh, excuse me. So this is feature auto reframe. I don't know if this is. Let's see, it's analyze. I guess I just made it big, man. That just look crazy. That ain't gonna work, man. Analyze. Yeah, like. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of you. You're gonna go bye-bye because that look crazy. So I guess we'll deal with that. I'll talk about that on another day. I won't figure that more out more myself before I start trying to tell anyone about it. But it's supposedly pretty dope to auto reframe certain things. So basically what I'm going to go ahead and do, I've added a keyframe here on the front of this clip. So let's see when this. And actually what I'm going to do two things. I'm going to add another keyframe there for position. I do that all the time. I always forget to position. So now now I'm getting ideas and I'm trying to decide what I want to do. So, because what I'm thinking is thinking about here, we're just gonna try and see. All right, so now just hit me what I want to do, what I needed this to do. So we're going to do some clip stacking. So you'll see that I'm going to do in a second. No. So there's a piece that I'm looking for here that I want to use. Kind of show the top of the bridge there. Yep, right here. Boom. So we're going to take that little piece there. Watch, and then we're going to jump cut this bad boy. Trying to catch up with movement, and I was trying to get her look too, because I really like the look, but I like the movement more. And so we're gonna bounce around. We'll get away from that when I want to go back to the car though. We got the car. This was like the last area we were in. I didn't really like. I just wasn't getting any ideas over here, to be real. Like, I think we got a little bit of something, but it just wasn't. I actually kind of like that wide shot though. This is another thing I've been really pushing and challenging myself to do more of, and that's just mixing it up. I love the tight, detailed shots, and I know that's my go-to. I know that's a strength of mine, and I know I can pull emotion from the viewers, with some of the shots that I get like that. But in my path to videography greatness, I am pushing myself to kind of get outside of my boxes that I've created. So that is one of them. And I want to incorporate more wide shots, and things like that, and just really getting more creative with my shooting. So instead of being so reliant on heavy processing and editing in post, is there in pre. Oopsies. Wow, wow. See, look at that. See, man, messing up. Didn't do anything with that. So thankfully, doesn't look bad. Again, we get a nice, clear, solid blacks. Now, I see something that we need to do here. So we're getting a lot of light, like on her. We need to come out of. Not too much white there. Now we are cooking with a gas stove. And so, yeah, back to the earlier point I was making, as far as just being able to get more versatile with my style of shooting. We go from medium to tight to wide. And that's, you know, maybe not necessarily in that order, but that's the movements that you want. You want to have your mix of tight, wide shots. You know, you don't want to have everything a tight shot, you know, or everything a wide shot. You got to have, you know, a nice, comfortable balance of the three. So, yep, now we're going to cut back to the car. I'm digging it. Liking how it's feeling and how it's looking. It's looking great. Feeling smooth. So, it was something I was going to say, and I forgot what I was going to say. Excuse me. So I may take that. Let's see. She looked over hard, boy. All right, so yeah, I forgot, man. See, we got some over here is like a little garage area that we shot and got some dope shots in front of. There's a lot over in this little area, man. So I don't know. Let's see. I'll bring this, make this a little bigger. I think I kind of like this orbiting shot a little bit better than that head turn. So what we're gonna do is gonna replace that. We'll slap it right over like that. And still just paste on attributes. So this time what I did is just bumped up the exposure. So we see this here. That's what that is. I'm not going to press myself on that. I can't get that out as far as stop it from clipping or being overexposed. That's the sun shining and reflecting directly off of that car behind her. So you fix what you can fix, and you work around what you can't. So we want her. As long as she looks good, I'm not too pressed on that. Like the background, everything's exposed as it should be. It's actually on the low side, to be real. Like this could have come up like a good bit more as far as an exposure, because this we will probably want it to be closer to about like 90, like around. Some of these other images are like, that's not even a good one. This is a good one here. It's good exposure. This one, not so much. And it's partly because it's moving. All right. And again, pardon me. I apologize for my weird and awkward silence. I'm thinking, getting ideas. So, yeah. So if you don't hear from me, or you don't see me rambling, scrambling, saying some nonsense, that's why. Contemplating where I want to go. Because that's the other thing too, that I try to mix it up. You know, you go from high shots, low shots, mid shots, wide shots, tight shots, close shots. You just kind of mix it up, man. And I'm trying to like to keep the edit, and that's part of what keeps the energy, in the edit as well. It's kind of having that mix or that variety of stuff. It's not like the same shot over and over, because that gets old. And that's why too, man, like when you're working with your models and stuff, you want to, for one, you want to have a vision, and then you want to be able to coach them to whatever your vision is. And see, for me, this is stuff that I'm like, I kick myself for. But I think what I'm going to do is play with this some, because I'm thinking like, man, it would have been great if I had got just a static shot of the artwork behind her, and I could do some fun stuff with it. But we're still gonna make it happen. What we're gonna do is a little something like this. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is I'm gonna mask her out. So I'll cut that clip right there. So I'm trying to decide what is going to happen in this clip. So the idea that I'm getting, I'm going to mask her out. That's number one. That's going to happen. But I'm trying to decide what is going to transpire in our edit here, and if I need to extend the point at which I mask her out, to here, which would be the second beat. So you have the kick and the snare, like boom, boom, clap. So if I start my mask here, because what I'm thinking, if we mask her out, we just have her on the back on a black screen. I don't know if that's even gonna look right. So this is why you want to think about stuff too. So I'm thinking logically, if I just had her black screen, there's nothing there, and then we do something wonky, like when it gets here, I can do some stuff with the background, and then boom, it plays the regular clip towards the end. I think that is what I'm going to attempt to do. So we're going to actually make essentially two masks of the same clip. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, it does. So we're going to mask it. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to do it twice. So we're going to bring this first clip into After Effects, right click, replace with After Effects comp. Then Justin is going to pop over here. I'm going to switch, and let me see if I can just get a whole new render capture going here. Bear with me as ooh, excuse me. Hey, so now what's going to happen is I can switch back and forth between these rather easily for you guys. So as I hop over in After Effects, it's going to be easier. You guys can see hopefully what I'm doing there. So because I brought in After Effects through Premiere, it's going to open it up like normal. It's actually asking me what I want to save this as. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come. This is a new thing that I've been doing. You guys can't see. I'm saving this, so you can't see what's going on in After Effects at the moment. Bear with me. But I'm starting to save. Or just be more strategic in where I'm saving certain things, Let's save it here. Whew. All right. So now what we're going to do, we're going to click here. We're going to go ahead and pre-compose this. We're going to move all attributes into the composition, and we're good. So now we're going to click on Roto Brush 2, and we're going to commence the masking. And right off the rip, I did a mistake, and I want to do that. Oops. And I hope that it captures and masks her well. I don't want to spend a bunch of time doing this. I really don't. And it did a pretty good job. For the most part, some stuff here I gotta pop in here and correct. It's like following the stripes on her shirt, which is funny. And this is probably a good idea too. Like if you're gonna do a lot of masking, it's a good idea to let your model know, like, yo, or just to be mindful of where you place them at. And so that way, you know, when you go to do your masking, you kind of have an idea what kind of headaches or challenges or issues you're going to face. Um, yeah, don't be like this guy and just see a dope background and be like, hey, yeah, stand here. And then you decide to go home and take out that background to create some fancy, whimsical edit. And then it takes you hours on hours on hours to mask and correct and do all that. That's why it's always funny to me, man. People, certain expectations on certain edits and stuff, man. It's like this stuff takes a lot of work, a lot of work, a lot of time. I don't even say work, man. It's just the time and brain power. I can't tell you how often I fall asleep in here in this chair sitting editing. All these fancy color lights flickering at me. And I'm just trying to stay awake and finish projects, you know. Oh, shiitake. All right, so we are almost done. It actually did a really, really good job. I'm hating on it low key, but it's done a really good job in comparison to other times that I've used this, and obviously the traditional way of doing this. Like, so I'm well pleased. Just being picky because I can be. It is still nuts to me though. Like you can do a lot of this on a much smaller, lower scale level, but on your phone, you can do it a lot more seamlessly. You're not going to be able to handle this kind of resolution and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, you can do with advanced artificial intelligence now, man, you can do a lot. All right. So we have a mask. What we need to do is we're going to go through this frame by frame just to make sure this mask is going to hold as she moves super, super slightly. I'm surprised that After Effects didn't make a bunch of noise at me because this is a different frame rate than which, or did it? It might have actually brought the right frame rate in. I don't know. Who cares? It's working. But I don't know what it was that I was editing, man. But it kept giving me. Oh, I believe it was an edit I work with. Someone sent me some footage and they filmed everything on a GoPro. Man, every mask that I had to make, it was making me readjust the frame rate for it, man. It was such a headache. Cause I'm like, man, this is crazy. I know this is right, man. Like, come on, I don't want to have to keep adjusting the frame rate and then bring it back over, and then it would be shorter or faster. It was a nightmare. It wasn't fun, not at all. I didn't like it. All right, so looks pretty good. So boom, yep. So we're at the end now. So now we're gonna go ahead and freeze the mask, and that's just gonna lock that mask onto it. And ooh, see, and this is why I wanted to do this, because even if we don't completely delete this background, we can have a lot of fun with these colors now because she's gonna be completely masked out. So we can, you know, kind of manipulate her however far as, you know, where she's at and what's taking place. And so we can put text behind her, we can put images behind her, we can do a lot. So we'll have a little bit of fun. Now, and this is when the ideas get to going. So now we're gonna go ahead and unfreeze this, and We want to get rid of the stuff back there. So now we're going to adjust a couple things. I typically go to about 30 on my feather, between 30 35. That's up to you. You kind of got to use your eyes. And so I'm just going to shift the edge. So all the shifting the edge does, it'll take your mask where you made your points, and it'll kind of shift it in or out just ever so slightly. And then to reduce the chatter, just kind of cleans it up just a smidge, not a lot, you know what I mean? Just a little bit, not a lot, baby girl, just a little bit. All right, so now what we're gonna go ahead and do, we're going to export this. We're gonna add it to our Adobe Media Encoder. This is queuing up for export. Ba-da-ba-ba. Oh. All right. So, oopsie, he's not paying attention. So we're gonna remove all that old stuff, and we need to first change in our export settings. We're gonna change this to QuickTime, and then I already have my preset for no background animation, and I need to make sure this goes into the right location. So let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Wrong folder, wrong folder, wrong folder, wrong folder. There we go. There we go. Wow. So now we got that. So boom. So we're going and so this is the first clip. So you guys got to keep in mind, we're going to do this. And I should have did this. We should have did it all on one mask, and I could have made the cut point, whatever. But it's neither here nor there. But we're going to just do another mask point again. Yeah. For the next clip that we cut. And this is my mistake. Like I said, I should have just did this all in one longer mask. It probably would have been a total of about 24 frames. This one was about 17 frames, so it's rather short. I try to keep these masks, man, like the length short as possible, man, just because it's a lot. It gets mad tedious, especially if there's a lot of movement, and After Effects and Rotor Brush 2 cannot get a good, outline of whatever it is that you're trying to mask out. It can be a nightmare, man. You will find yourself spending hours wasted, just trying to mask out and feather out and clean up and all that good stuff. So I try to keep, if I'm gonna do a lot of masking, I try to keep it under 10 seconds. All right, so I need to bring this in. I need to bring it into the fold. All right. So now what we can do here is we can do some creative stuff. Boom. That's actually pretty hard. So all I did was just desaturated the background. And so like I said, we're going to take this same clip here, and we're going to also replace it with the After Effects comp. We're going to right click here. We're going to pre-compose. Yep, we want to move it on to new comp. We're going to Rotor Brush 2, double click on our image here. On our comp, should be. Try this again. There we go. And again, all we're going to do is just going to mask out our subject. And kind of got an idea about what it's going to do. Yeah. So we're just going to have to clean this mask up again, just like we just did. Like I said, this is why stuff gets tedious, because you got to go in there and get it all corrected. Make sure it's nothing looking too off putting. Whoa. All right. So, ooh, shoot, went too far in. Don't go too crazy. All right. Dum, bum, bum, bum. Can you feel the love tonight? All right. So we're cooking, man. We're almost there. We're almost there. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And just from the last one, we know kind of, for the most part, what it was going to do. And so I kind of had to know what to look for immediately and kind of what to expect, that I would have to go in and kind of adjust on the actual mask here. So that was pretty helpful, I guess. Yeah. Ja. So it's kind of boop, boop. All right. Oh man. Oh mama. So this is when I start to get slap happy. When I'm doing all this tedious, meticulous stuff here, and I'm trying to keep myself awake and my mind from wandering off. So I apologize. You can hear some weird sounds and noises, but it's just being me, man. Don't pay me no mind. Just pay me your dimes. Don't pay me in dimes. Doom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, man. I keep yawning and yawning and yawning and yawning and yawning and yawning. I do all this, man. This is what drives me nuts. It's like I do all this and then it's like I go try to lay down and nothing. Can't sleep. And then I'm up 2 o'clock. It's like, holy smokes, I gotta be up at 5 in the morning. Or 2 in the morning or whatever. Alright, so try to clean a little bit up. Don't go crazy. My thing is Casey and JoJo. Going crazy on me, man. Alright, so we're just about there. Good people. Alright, so everything is masked about as good as it can be. So it's gonna go frame by frame. Frame 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 frames. So not a lot at all. And we're gonna go ahead and freeze. Lock that to. Oh, excuse me. We're gonna lock this to our image. And we're getting close to. Excuse me. My goodness, this is nuts. We're getting close to the end of this, so we're gonna get ready to wrap things up here in a few. I'll show you. We'll kind of end as far as in the edit. We'll end on this. Like after I bring this back into Premiere, like we were. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do in Premiere with it, and then we'll close on out. So, all right. So now, boom. Look at that, man. Look at that. Look at that. Man. All right. So I think I want to make like a drone tour of Ohio. So if you guys know some dope spots to go fly and take some aerial pictures and all that good stuff, y'all let me know. And reply in the comments. Oh, no. It's not gonna go where I want it to go. Reset. Oh, it is going where I want it to go. Is it? No. No, it is not. Why you want to go and do me like that? Why you want to do me like that, love, huh? All right. So now this is where we needed to go. I'm going to go ahead and save it here and let it do its thing. Shouldn't take but a second. And it only took 2. So now, boom, I got that. We're going to bring After Effects back. We're going to bring Premiere back up. Sorry. Now we got Premiere in here again. Premiere, like, what's happening? So we're going to bring in this second comp that we just made. And we got Miss Tanasia here again. Boom. And we're just going to take that clip and we're going to replace the After Effects clip that we just had there. So now, and I think we ought to keep this same desaturated look, yeah? So we go 8.6 and we're going to do something fun with it in front though. 8.6 on the satch. And what we're going to do here next is we're going to go ahead and click save. And I don't know why I hate when it does this. Okay, so now, boom. So now we got our things back. Okay, so now next thing we're going to do, we're going to pop over into graphics really quick here. Once this switches, and I think it'll be dope. We add some more hearts back here. And I've used this before, but so we just got to get this. Oh, why is it going so doggone slow? Okay, so this is new. Now we can time these. So let's see. All right. See if we can get these babies to pop up a little bit sooner. I don't know if it's gonna work. They're like right at the bottom. All right, about that. What we're gonna do? What about mom? What about mom? What about mom? I want just a little splash of color back here, but I don't want to go overboard. And we're kind of at the end. All right, so just this is not what I'm gonna go with. Just to show you guys what you can do is just pretty sweet, and this is really just for explanatory purposes. This is not gonna be in there, but it's actually pretty hard, don't it? I actually kind of like that. Yeah, you know what? We'll keep that. So I'm gonna play this through one more time. Then I'll play you guys something else, and we'll close out the stream tonight. I know we're going a little bit over. Yeah, sorry. In 2 hours for 30 seconds of content. All right, y'all. Oopsies. I'm gonna pop this back up really quick. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring in something else here that's pretty neat. And so what we're going to do, we're going to close out tonight's stream with another view of the trailer for our upcoming short film, Studio 127, which is going to be dropping this Saturday. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and play this, and then we're going to close out and get on out of here. And I'm going to finish this edit. First, I'm going to get you guys some audio on this, hopefully. And let's try this one more time. All right, guys. Like I said, that's going to be dropping this Saturday. So you want to see that, stay tuned this Saturday. Yeah, man. So without any further ado, I don't think there's anything else that I got left for tonight. I appreciate you all tuning in as normal. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun. I've had a lot of tips and stuff that I share with you guys in the 30 seconds of that edit. You guys have learned about my new drone. You guys have learned how I crashed my old drone. You've seen the damage and you've actually seen the crash. So yeah, man, I feel like y'all are like family now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all close to my heart. But yeah, man, I'm going to go ahead and continue to work on this edit because I want to have a version of it done before I go to sleep tonight. So I'm going to close this up. Appreciate you guys as always. Until the next time.